All right. So in this first experiment we're going to do, I know technically in the introduction we set up an experiment to be done, but the first true experiment that we're going to see to completion is one that we do to illustrate the specificity of catalase. So in other words, as I said in the introduction, the enzymes are proteins, and proteins have specific shapes, and those shapes only allow them to bind with specific reactants. And by the way, we now refer to the reactants as substrates. So when you see the word substrate, that means an enzyme, there's a relationship with this reactant and an enzyme. So, and it's a very specific relationship that they have. So we want to illustrate that just to, for our own sake of understanding. So I've labeled 6 test tubes, 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B, all right? And in test tube 1, I'm going to put a transfer pipette of our liver homogenate catalase. All right, so again, we'll do a quick mix, right? And we're just going to set up the A's first. So 1 transfer pipette, right? And then in 2A, I'm going to put a transfer pipette of water. Right? So just our distilled water. So again, our reaction chambers, put that down. And in 3B, I'm going to put another, transfer pipette of catalase. So from the liver that we blended initially. Oh. Right, so again, what we have is 1A and 3A each have a pipette of catalase. Can you see those okay? And then 2A has water. So in 1B, we're going to add, hydrogen peroxide, which I'm just going to decant this into a beaker here to make it a little easier. Right, and so in 1B, I'm going to put test tube of hydrogen peroxide. Test tube pipette, right? And 2B is a transfer pipette of hydrogen peroxide. All right, and then 3B is sucrose. So sucrose, just a table sugar solution, goes in 3B. All right, so once again, 1B and 2B have hydrogen peroxide, and 3B has sucrose. So we let this reaction go for 20 seconds, so we'll just put the timer there. So, and what you do is you just mix, so B into A, all right? So I'm going to try to get my gloves out of the way here. So again, catalase and, 1B we said has hydrogen peroxide, right? And I'm going to throw those together, and whoa! Let it go for 10 seconds, or 20 seconds, excuse me. And you saw this is a pretty instantaneous reaction. Getting my paper all wet. But we'll let it go for completion. And here's how we're going to record results. Thanks. Sorry. I'm all over the frame. Stop. All right. So from the point of where the solution was, you are basically recording. Is that still in focus?
No, you're out of range.
Okay. Am I in focus now?
There you are.
Okay. So in this particular one, let me get down here and try to be steady. All right. It looks like, what's that?
Your head's in the way.
Head's in the way. Right here in 1A. Oh, the problems. All right, so it looks like we have about 12 centimeters or 120 millimeters in our bubble column. All right? Because that's what, and that bubbling, would be the release of the product oxygen, as catalase was breaking down the hydrogen peroxide. All right, so in 2, let's put our set back up here. In 2A, we had water, and we had hydrogen peroxide. So 2A, 2B, going to put those together, and we'll start the timer. And I wish I had some background music here,
We can fix it in post.
No. Anybody seen Night Shift as a little Jeopardy going? Yeah. All right. And that looks like a big 0. All right. So, judging from the column height here, you good? There isn't one, right? So So that would be a 0, all right? Okay, and then 3A and 3B, we have catalase in 3A, and we have sucrose in 3B, okay? So we're going to start those two together, and start. And yeah, once more time. 20 seconds seems long, you know, when you're actually watching the clock, doesn't it? You guys can't see my lovely assistant Dave, but
Hello.
he's waving. All right. And really nothing much. I mean, there's some residue probably from things that were in the liver itself, but, you know, for all intents and purposes, we'll call that 3 millimeters. 3 millimeters to be fair, to be scientific. All right, so again, I think you can begin to draw your conclusions about what has been demonstrated in this specific experiment. We're going to go on and perform 3 other ones and try to, again, get you to understand a little bit more about enzymes.